text came in around 1 a.m. It said, "You're safe." I hadn't told her anything was wrong. This happened to me in the fall of 2017. I just moved to a small town in northern Idaho for work. I didn't know anyone there except my friend Marcus, who had grown up in the area. The isolation was hitting me harder than I expected. Most nights were quiet to the point of being unsettling. One afternoon, Marcus called and said he knew a couple who needed a dog sitter for a long weekend. They were paying well, $200 for 3 nights. Money was tight and I didn't think twice about it. Watching dogs sounded easy enough. Marcus drove me out to meet them. Their house was about 15 minutes outside of town, down a gravel road that cut through dense woods. The road narrowed the farther we went until it felt like we were driving into the trees instead of through them. The house was an old ranch-style place from the 70s, pale yellow siding with dark wood trim. The paint was peeling in long strips, and the roof sagged slightly in places. It looked like the kind of house that had been left behind by time. The couple met us in the driveway. The husband was tall and quiet, probably late 50s. Thick gray beard, flannel shirt, work boots. He shook my hand but didn't say much. His wife did most of the talking. She was shorter, sharp-featured, and smiled constantly, though it never quite reached her eyes. She started by walking me around the property. There were cameras everywhere. Small black domes mounted under the eaves, on the garage, near the driveway, along the fence line. She pointed out each one like she was proud of them. "We run a business from home," she said. "Firearms, buying, selling, restoring. So, we need good security." That explanation made sense and I nodded along. Inside, the house smelled like old carpet and wood smoke. The furniture was clean but outdated, heavy, brown and beige tones everywhere. The husband followed a few steps behind us the entire time, never speaking, just watching. In the living room, she stopped suddenly and turned to face me. Then she did something that stuck with me. She looked me up and down slowly. Not like she was checking me out, more like she was assessing me, measuring. Her eyes went from my shoes to my face, then back down again. It only lasted a few seconds, but it made my skin crawl. "You're about my size," she said. I smiled, unsure how to respond. She continued the tour without explaining much. She opened doors, let me glance inside rooms, then closed them and moved on. Kitchen, back hallway, garage door. No details. Her husband stayed silent behind us the entire time. The dogs were 2 older German shepherds, calm, friendly. She showed me where the food was and pointed out the doggy door leading to a fenced area in the backyard. "They go in and out whenever they want," she said. "Don't worry about them." Before I left, she handed me a key and a piece of paper with both their phone numbers. "Text us if anything comes up," she said. "We'll be watching the cameras, so don't worry. You're safe here." That last part felt strange. I hadn't said I was worried. I moved in on Thursday evening. The couple had already left. The house felt too quiet. The dog's nails clicking on the tile floors were the only sounds breaking the silence. That's when I noticed the cameras inside, small ones mounted in the corners of the living room and kitchen. They weren't hidden, just subtle, easy to miss if you weren't looking for them. I glanced up at one for a moment, then forced myself to stop staring. The first night was uneventful. I slept in the guest room and woke up to the dogs nudging the door. I let them out, made coffee, and spent the day reading. Friday night, around 10, I opened the camera app they'd given me access to. One of the exterior cameras was offline, the one facing the woods behind the house. All the others were working fine. I stared at the screen longer than I probably needed to. Rural Wi-Fi isn't great, so I told myself it was nothing. Still, I texted the wife. "Hey, one of the back cameras is offline, just wanted to let you know." She replied almost immediately, "We see it. Don't worry. Happens sometimes." That should have reassured me. It didn't. Around midnight, both dogs started barking. Not normal barking, deep, aggressive barking. They were standing rigid at the back sliding door, staring into the darkness beyond the yard. Their ears were pinned back. The hair along their necks was raised. I turned on the floodlights. The yard lit up, but I couldn't see anything except trees and shadows. They wouldn't stop barking. Eventually, I noticed the doggy door. It was big enough for the dogs, which meant a person could squeeze through if they really wanted to. I dragged a heavy wooden chair from the kitchen and jammed it against the door. It scraped loudly against the floor. The dogs finally settled down. I left the lights on and slept on the couch. When I woke up Saturday morning, the chair was across the room. Not tipped over, not nudged aside, moved. It was at least 8 feet from where I'd left it, with visible scrape marks across the floor. The doggy door was completely clear. Both dogs were outside, lying calmly in the yard. The back door was still locked. The camera app showed nothing. The back camera was still offline. I called Marcus. When he arrived, I explained everything. He searched the house with me. Closets, rooms, garage. Nothing was disturbed. No signs of forced entry. "Maybe you moved it in your sleep," he said. I didn't believe that, but I didn't have a better explanation. After he left, I put the chair back. This time, I took a photo. Saturday night was quiet. I barely slept. At 11, every camera went offline at once, inside and out. All black screens. I texted the wife. No response. At 1 a.m., the dog started barking again. Then a heavy thump echoed from the back hallway. The dogs went silent. I felt it immediately, that sense that someone was there. The air felt wrong, occupied. Then my phone buzzed. "You're safe." A moment later, "Can you check the garage door?" I think we left it unlocked. I looked up at the living room camera. The app said it was offline, but the red light was still blinking. They were watching me. I walked to the garage and flipped on the light. And beside the exterior door, barely visible in the narrow gap, was the outline of an arm pressed against the wall. I ran. The police found nothing. While I was still at the station, the wife texted, "Plans changed. You can go home." As I left the house at dawn, a car without headlights pulled into the driveway. I texted her, "I know. I still think about that chair, the cameras, that text. I don't think it was random. I think they were testing me. I just don't know what for."